Okay, hello. I hope you are able to hear me fine and see the screen. So, welcome to the second session of Algebra as part of the Gear Up for Mocks 2025 series. And I hope you are all energized after the holidays and you are ready to take up some topics. Okay, so today we are going to learn about inequalities, rational inequalities, quadratic inequalities, and then we will touch upon exponential and logarithmic functions. Okay, so I just wanted to cover all of these topics fast so that I can work on as many exam questions as possible. So let me see how fast I can go. Okay, and as I said in the last session, don't worry if you are not able to follow all the topics, all the things which I'm saying. These videos will always be live in the channel, so you can go back and listen to it again, okay, whenever you want. So nothing to worry. Just listen, try to absorb as much as possible so that your learning is improved. Okay, so let us start with inequalities. Okay, so till now what we have learned is we had learned something like 5x plus 3 is equal to 10. So whenever there is an equal sign, it is called equality. Okay, and what does inequality means? Inequality means which is less than 0 or less than or greater than or less than or equal to greater than or equal to. If something comes like this, it is called an inequality. Now, we will have to learn how to solve equations with respect to inequality. So now before we go into this, you have to understand that if I say a is less than b, and if I multiply something like 5a, like I multiply it with the same number 5a, it will also be less than 5b. Okay, or if I divide by same number, that will also follow the same inequality. Okay, this is one small property which you have to understand. But if you are multiplying this by minus, okay, so if I'm saying it is minus a, multiplying it by minus 1, so I'm here multiplying it by minus 1. So if I'm multiplying it by minus 1, this side it will become minus b, but the inequality sign will be reversed. Okay, so you have to understand, if you are multiplying it by minus 1, the inequality sign is reversed. This is very important, because when you are solving inequalities, you will have to reverse certain things. You will have to multiply it by certain things, and at that time you should reverse the inequality. Okay, we will have some questions on this, but that is how you will do it. Now let's see how we will solve an inequality. So let me just take a quick example. So it is 3x plus 7 greater than or equal to x plus 2. X is an element of z. Why do we say x is an element of z? Because it is an integer. Now, let me just write it neatly. Okay. Now this, you should solve this as you solve a normal linear equation, but only thing is that you have to retain this greater than or equal to sign. So what you do, you bring all the x to one side. So it is 3x minus x is greater than or equal to 2 minus 7. So 3x minus x is 2x is greater than or equal to minus 5, and x is greater than or equal to minus 5 over 2. So this is the answer. Okay, and x is an element of z. Z means integers. Now to plot that in a number line, because it is z, you have to plot some negative numbers also. Okay, just to show that you are plotting it in plotting it properly. Otherwise the examiner can reduce the mark. So here what you need to do is less than minus 5 over 2. So what is minus 5 over 2? It is 2.5. So you should plot somewhere around okay, minus 2.2. Yeah, minus 2.5. So you should plot somewhere around minus 2.5 will be somewhere here. Okay, it will be somewhere here, and it is greater than or equal to. So you have to plot all the numbers which are, sorry, okay, I'm so sorry. What you have to do is, okay, you have to plot all the numbers, whole numbers are after 2.5. Okay, that is because you are plotting it in z. You are plotting with the z number. But if you are plotting it with r, which is a real number, then when if you are plotting it with that minus 1 0 1 and 2, If you're plotting with the r, if it is minus 2.5, you will take to minus 2.5 here, and then you will draw a line like this. Okay, so this is the way in which you plot the inequality. So you have to be very, very, very careful with this. Now, the next thing is, okay, we will try to work on one more question. Okay, give me 1 second, please. Sorry. Okay, let me just take another question, which is 12x minus 3 into x minus 3 is less than 45. Okay, so it's just an inequality. So remember, you can solve it just like what you do for linear equation. Okay, give me 1 second. So there's some technical glitch here. Very, very sorry. Okay, so here what you do is, say first you expand this, that will be 12x minus 3x plus 9 less than 45, and simplify this as 9x and bring this one this side, so it is less than 36 and x is less than 4. Okay, and then when you need to plot it, usually they will say this as x is an element of, let me just see what is the question, x is an element of R. So if it is x is less than 4, what you will do when you are plotting it 1 2 3, and okay, this should go away and you should be putting it in 4, and since it is less than 4, you should put an open circle, and then you should shade all of these portion. Okay, so that is how we plot the number line for the negative ones. Now let me just take one more with a fraction, 4 minus x divided by 2 greater than 2 minus x divided by 3. X is an element of R. Okay, again, when you have a fraction, you just cross multiply. So this 3 times 4 minus x is greater than 2 times 2 minus x, and that is 12 minus 3x is greater than 4 minus 4x, and bring everything to this side. So 4x minus 3x is greater than 4 minus 12. So 1x is greater than minus 8, x is greater than minus 8. Now, when it comes to this, you need to plot it as a diagram where you will be x is greater than minus 8. Okay. Oh, sorry. X is, did I make any mistake? 4 minus 12, 8. Yeah, x is greater than minus 8. Take 4, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, small mistake here. Small mistake. So this is 2x, and this is 2x. This is minus 1x. Okay, so here it should be minus 1x, and since there's a negative number, you need to multiply this by minus 1. And remember, when you're multiplying it with minus 1, you will have to change the inequality sign, so that is x is less than 8. Okay, that's what you will get. So when you're plotting it in a number line, it will be 8 7 6 5. It goes on like this, and since it is a real number and it is less than 8, you will put a open circle and then you draw it till here. Okay, so this is how you complete the inequality. Now, okay, now these are linear inequalities. Now the second thing what you're going to work on is quadratic inequalities. Okay, so before we move on to the quadratic inequalities, let us see how you will plot a quadratic equation. Okay, I don't remember if I explained this in the last class. Sorry, but I will just quickly explain it. If there is a quadratic equation, ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. If a is positive, okay, a is positive, this graph will look like this U-shaped. Okay, and if a is negative, less than 0, and it is negative, it will look like this. Okay, so this is one small thing which you have to know before we move on to this topic. So now with respect to the inequalities, you might get questions like, x square minus 2x minus 8 is less than or equal to 0. So you will have to solve this. So what you will do is, whenever you have a rational inequality, what you will do is, like, you make this as an equality. So you will write this as x square minus 2x minus 8 is equal to 0. Make it as an equality and then you solve it like normal quadratic equation. So how do you solve it? You can factorize this. This will be x plus 2 and x minus 4 is equal to 0. So this will be x is equal to minus 2 and x is equal to 4. So you got the quadratic equation. Okay. Now you see the graph. Okay. And here the coefficient of x square is 1. Okay. Coefficient of x square is 1 and that is a and that is positive. So how does the graph look like? The graph will look like a U-shaped graph. Okay. This is going to be a U-shaped graph. And within this, these minus 2 and 4, which are called roots of the equation, that is where this graph will touch the x-axis. So if you have a graph like this, okay, because a is positive, you know that the graph is going to be U-shaped. Okay. And this point, one point will be minus 2 and one point will be 4. So whenever you're drawing a graph, if you have the roots like this is how you draw the graph. It's very, very, very easy. Okay. Let me take another example. I'll come back to this question. Okay. We'll take another example. If I have the roots as x is equal to 3, x is equal to 5, how do we draw a graph? And suppose the equation is um, 3x square plus 4x plus 5, okay, equal to 0. Just imagine. It's not the correct solution, but just imagine. Now to draw the graph, you just draw this and you draw a U shape. And you should draw the U shape in such a manner that uh, this point 3 and 5, and the graph will touch this 3, and then the graph will touch 5 and it will go. Okay. I think there is a small lag in the YouTube this, because I'm screen sharing with the Zoom. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Let's try one more question. Okay. If I have another question like 5x square plus 3x plus 10 is equal to 0. And suppose if the roots are minus 3 and 4. Okay, roots of the equation are minus 3 and 4. How will you draw a graph? You just take a graph like this, and here one point will be minus 3 and one point will be 4, and the graph will come touch the minus 3. Okay, it is touching the minus 3. It will go down and it will touch the 4 and it will go up. Okay, it should be a proper U. Mine is a little bit curved because I'm not a good artist, but that is how you draw it. Okay, now coming back to this question. So what we have is, we have two roots here and we have drawn this diagram. Now this is not complete. Okay, why? Because we have an inequality here. You should say that it is less than or equal to 0. So less than or equal to 0 means it is this part of the, it is, you should look at the y value. So which means this is this part of the graph. Okay, so where is it less than or equal to 0? It is in this part of the graph, and the solution is between this. Okay, because it is between minus 2 and 4. So the solution is here. So then you can write the solution as minus 2 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 4. Okay, so this is the solution for our question. So what do you do? Whenever you get a quadratic inequality, you put it as a normal equality sign here, or equal sign here, solve it using normal factorizing, find the roots, draw a diagram, and find out which area we have to put the values for. Okay, so this is quite straightforward question which you will get. Yeah. You want to do one more question? Can you please tell me in the chat if you want to do one more question on this, or we can move forward? Can you please put it in the chat? Okay, no response. So I'll take it as a no. Okay, so we will move on to rational inequalities. So okay, Rational inequalities calls with fractional one. So it will be something like 2x plus 1 divided by x plus 2 less than 1 over 2. So when you will have some fractions in place, and that is how you will have to solve it. So what you should do with rational inequalities, whenever you see some rational inequalities like this, you have to multiply both sides with the square of the denominator. Okay, so you take the denominator and multiply both sides with the square of the denominator. So what you will do in this case is 2x plus 1 divided by x plus 2. Okay, and then multiply this with x plus 2 the whole square. Okay, less than 1 by 2 x plus 2 the whole square. So this is the concept which you have to remember whenever you're working on this. So rational inequality, multiply it with the square of the denominator. Okay, multiply by the square of the denominator. So now for this one, 1x by 2 and 1 here will get cancelled. So on the left hand side you have 2x plus 1 times x plus 2, which is less than or equal to 1 over 2 x plus 2 the whole square. Okay, then you can solve it. How are you going to solve it? You're going to expand it. So when you expand this side, you will get it as 2x square plus 5x plus 2, which is less than 1 over 2 x square plus 4x plus 4. Okay, now you multiply this to this side and you will get 4. Okay, I'm just going to multiply and write. So it is like 4x square plus 10x plus 4 is equal to x square plus 4x plus 4. Okay, now you simplify this, bring everything to the left hand side, and that will be 3x square plus 6x is equal to 0. Okay, okay, no, not equal to, I'm very sorry, it is not equal to, we are working with inequality, so it should be less than 0 because 4 gets cancelled. Okay, and then what you can do is you can divide everything by 3, and that will be x square plus 2x less than 0, and x times x plus 2 is less than 0. Oh, no, I don't need to factorize it now. Let me just not factorize. So whenever, now I got a quadratic equation which I need to solve. To solve this quadratic equation, what you will do? You will write it as x square plus 2x, which is equal to 0. Put it as an equal sign and then you solve it. Now, when you want to solve it, you factorize it. So x times x plus 2 is equal to 0. So it will be x is equal to 0 or x plus 2 is equal to 0 and x is equal to minus 2. Okay, now you got these 2 points. Now, since it is an inequality, what you should do? You should draw a graph. And I taught you the method how to draw the graph. If you need to draw the graph, you take 0 and minus 2. So this is 0 and this is minus 2. And then the graph will come like this, come down, and it will go like this. Okay. Now you look at the equation, x square plus 2x. You look at this equation, what are they saying? X square plus 2x less than 0. So less than 0 means, okay, let me just write it down. Less than 0 means it should be it should be this portion. Always look at the y coordinate. So it should be that portion. And where is it less than 0? It is in this portion. Yeah. So then the solution for this one will be minus 2 less than or equal to minus 2 less than x, which is less than 0. Okay, now how will I write whether it is, how will I know whether it is less than or equal to? Look at the question. Okay, see, look at the question, it is less than here, so here also it will be less than. Okay, so that's how we solve an rational inequality. Is this clear? You want me to do one more question? Please put it in the chat and I can do one more question on this so that this becomes clear. Now, after this class, if you go to study clicks and you look at the inequality portion, you will find at least 7 or 8 questions on this section. Okay, it's so frequent. This type of questions are so frequent. So please learn this off so that you are very comfortable with this topic and you will be able to do this question when it comes in the exam. Okay. Okay. Anyway, you haven't mentioned it, but I will do one question. So x plus 5, Sorry, not this question. Let me just take another one. X plus 3 divided by x plus 2 is less than 2. And always you will get something like x is not equal to minus 2. Okay, you will always get this tail piece in this question. Okay, you can actually neglect it, but mathematically this is required. Why? Because if x is minus 2, the denominator will become minus 2 plus 2, and that is equal to 0. And division by 0 is undefined in mathematics. Okay, that is why this piece is very important mathematically. But for us to solve, no need to worry about this tail piece. Okay, in exam questions, there are many things which you can neglect. So through over my session, I will be talking about all these, what you can neglect. You need to focus only on the core things which is required. Okay, so here, as soon as you see a rational equation with an inequality, you are going to multiply it with the square of the denominators. What is the denominator here? This one. You're going to multiply it with the square of the denominator. So what you will do? You will write this as x plus 3 over x plus 2 multiplied by x plus 2 the whole square, which is less than 2 times x plus 2 the whole square. So first step is over. As soon as you write this, you are getting marks. Okay, please note, as soon as you write this, you are gaining some marks in the exam. Now here one thing and this one will get cancelled, and then you can write this as x plus 3 times x plus 2 is less than 2 times x plus 2 the whole square. And simplifying this, it will be x square plus 5x plus 6, which is less than 2 times x square plus 4x plus 4. You simplify this again, x square plus 5x plus 6 less than 2x square plus 8x plus 8. Okay, bring everything to the left hand side or bring everything to the right hand side. It totally depends on what you want to do. Okay, so I am going to bring everything to the right hand side just because I like to work with positive numbers. Okay, so what I can do is, like, I'm going to write it as 2x square minus x square, which is x square, then 8x plus 5x will be 3x, then 8 minus 6 will be 2, is less than sorry, it will be greater than 0 because I'm just going to bring it that side. Okay, but if you bring it to the left hand side, it will be a negative number, and when you multiply by the negative number, the sign has to change. Okay, so I've just bypassed 2 steps here. Now I factorize it. Okay, no, before I factorize, I have to write it in an equation. So it is like x square plus 3x plus 2 is equal to 0, and then I factorize it, so it will be x plus 2 and x plus 1 is equal to 0. So x is equal to minus 2, x is equal to minus 1. Now, since it is an inequality, you need to draw the graph. So this will be minus 2, this will be minus 1, and the graph will look like this. Okay, and what they have asked, it is greater than or equal to 0, which means it is this portion. Okay, where is this portion lying? Greater than 0. So the graph is greater than 0 from here, yeah, and from here. Okay, so then you will write the inequality as x is less than minus 2 or x is greater than minus 1. Okay, I hope this is clear. Let me quickly show you some exam questions on this because, yeah, look at this one. Okay, so there's straightforward exam question where you are saying that find the range of values for which 2x minus 7 divided by x plus 3 less than or equal to 1. So you should be able to do this question after understanding this sequence. Okay, I'm not going to do this now. Let me see if I have another one. Okay, another one. Okay, solve the inequality 2x minus 3 greater than x minus 3. Okay, I hope you are able to see the question properly. So as soon as you see modulus on both the side, oh, okay, we haven't come back to modulus. Okay, we were working on the inequality. Okay, we'll come back to that. Okay, sorry about that. We'll work on the modulus and then we will come back to this. Okay, so what we have learned till now is we have learned the linear inequality, and then we have learned the quadratic inequality, and then you have learned the rational inequality. Okay, 3 things are done. Now is where you're going to work with the modulus inequality. Okay, modulus inequality works like this. So 3x plus 7 less than 5. Okay, what do you mean by a modulus? Modulus means if I am writing modulus of minus 5, that means you're taking only the number, you're not taking the sign. Okay, you're taking only the number. So it is minus of 5 will be 5. Okay, or minus of 8 will be 8. Positive 4 will be 4. We are just taking only the number. So that is the concept of modulus. Okay. Now, if you're working with a question, okay, for example, if it is 3x plus 5, modulus of 3x plus 5 is equal to 2. Okay. And if you want to solve this equation, there are two methods. I'll show you I'll show you both the methods. Okay. The first method is, since it is a modulus, we see that we are taking only the number. When if I don't have the modulus, so if I have 3x plus 5, okay, it can be positive or negative 2. Okay, so what I can do is, like, I can write this as 3x plus 5 is equal to 2, which means it's a positive 2, or I can write it as 3x plus 5 is equal to minus 2. And then I can solve this. So this will be 3x is equal to 2 minus 5. So 3x is equal to minus 3 and x is equal to minus 1. Okay. On the right hand side, you can write 3x is equal to minus 7. X is equal to minus 7 over 3. Okay. Now, this is one method of solving it. The second method is, let me just take the same question here. 3x plus 5 is equal to 2. Now, as soon as you see modulus, you remember square both sides. Okay, so these are the tips. As soon as you see modulus, square both sides. Okay, so what you will do here, 3x plus 5 the whole square is equal to 2 square. So 3x plus 5 the whole square is equal to 4. And I simplify this, which is going to be 9x square plus 5 into 3, 15, 15 into 2, 30x plus 25 is equal to 4. Don't worry about the simplification. You will be able to do it. I'm just doing it with an identity. But for you, how do you work on this simplification? You just write it 2 times 3x plus 5 times 3x plus 5 and then multiply it together. Okay? And that is how you do it. Sorry. Okay. Then you bring the numbers to this side. So it will be 9x square plus 30x plus 21 is equal to 0. Since everything is divisible by 3, you do it as 3x square plus 10x plus 7 is equal to 0. And then you factorize it. Okay, how do you factorize it? You can factorize it using multiple methods, like a normal quadratic function, or you can use a minus b formula. Any method you can use, you can just do a factorizing and you will get, I'm just going to write the answer now, because 3x plus 7 into x plus 1 is equal to 0. And then 3x plus 7 is equal to 0, x plus 1 is equal to 0, because you split it and put it into 0. So 3x is equal to minus 7, x is equal to minus 1, x is equal to minus 7 over 3. Okay. I'm going over here a bit faster because these are some things which we know. If you know a quadratic, you will be able to solve it. You just factorize it and solve it. Okay. Perfect. So this is modulus inequality. So as soon as you see modulus, what do? You square it. Okay. Now let me go to that exam question what I was talking about. See here. Solve the inequality 2x minus 3. Okay. Let me just write it down here. 2x minus 3 is greater than x minus 3. So you remember, as soon as you see the modulus, you have to square both the sides. So you just square both the sides. 2x minus 3, the whole square is greater than x minus 3, the whole square. Expand this, so this you will get it as 4x square minus 12x plus 9 is greater than x square minus 6x plus 9. Bring everything to the left hand side, which is 3x square minus 6x. 9 will get cancelled, which is greater than 0. Okay. Now what do? You put it as an equal sign and then simplify it. So you put it as 3x square minus 6x is equal to 0. Then you take 3x outside, x minus 2 is equal to 0. Then you split this, so 3x is equal to 0, x minus 2 is equal to 0, x is equal to 0, x is equal to 2. Okay. Now, how do you know that what is inequality? Because it is an inequality, you might have to work on this. So how do you work on this? You draw the graph with 0 and 2. The graph will look like this, and it is greater than 0, so which means that it is this portion, and because of that, this one and this one. Okay, because that is where the numbers are positive. So what you will write? You will write it as x is less than 0, and here it is x is greater than 2. Okay, so two things. Fine. So the first one is rational inequality, which for the rational inequality, what you do? You multiply it with the square of the denominator. Okay, for modulus, square both sides. It's pretty easy. Okay, square both sides, you'll get a quadratic, solve it off. Fine, just remember this and you will be able to work on the exam questions. Now the third topic is you have to work on indices. Okay, so I'm not going to start with the base of indices because we learned a lot of indices in junior cert and also in living cert. We have been working about indices, and you know that all the indices are there in the formula for all the indices are there in the formula book. Okay, so you need not worry about this. You just need to understand how you are going to work on the indices. So suppose if you have okay, maybe I'll just show a question. X to the power of 3 to the power of 2 divided by x to the power of 3. What you will do? You will multiply this 3 and 2 here first. So that will be x to the power of 6 divided by x to the power of 3. And then for the indices with division, you subtract it. So it's x to the power of 6 minus 3. And you will get it as x to the power of 3. Okay. If you are not comfortable with indices, please go to my channel. There is a full video on all the indices. I'm explaining from the beginning till the end. So there's a full video which I'm explaining in detail. I'm working with multiple questions. So please have a look into this. Okay. So don't worry if you don't understand it now. You can go back and learn it. Okay. Plan for that and please learn it. Now, I want to show you certain questions here so that we are comfortable with this. So a p square q divided by p to the power of minus 1 q cube to the power of 4. Okay, so let me tell you, these kind of questions will not come in the exam. Okay, these questions are required to solve some application question from the exponents and the logarithmic side. Definitely you're going to get application level questions. These kind of questions are junior cert level. Direct solving of indices are junior cert level. Okay, here what we are going to work on is application level questions, which are pure exponential question where you will have to work with exponents and also logarithms. Okay, but you need to have an understanding on how you will solve this. Only then you will be able to work on the other questions. Okay, so that is why understanding of this is pretty important. Okay, now what you will do here, when you have such a question, so you can divide, you can split this 4, it will be like this. Then the numerator will get the 4 and the denominator will get the 4. Okay. And this will become p to the power of, okay, I'm going to solve only the numerator here. So that will become p to the power of 8 q to the power of 4 divided by p to the power of minus 4 q to the power of 12. Okay. And then what you do? You just subtract it. You just subtract the p part here, which is p to the power of 8 minus 4. Remember, okay, many people make a mistake here because they don't consider this minus 4. Okay, and then they just write 8 minus 4, 4. Okay, that's incorrect. You have to consider whenever there's one something in the numerator and something in the denominator, you subtract it. So that subtraction is pretty important, and that is why I wrote 8 minus 4. Okay, and then then the second part becomes q to the power of 4 minus 12. Okay. So then this will become p to the power of 8 minus 4 will be 12, q to the power of minus 8. Okay. I can write this as p to the power of 12 divided by q to the power of 8. I can eliminate the negative sign here. Okay. Why the better method of writing is without a negative sign. So if you have some negative sign in the answer, you better write it in the other form. Now, how did I eliminate this? A to the power of minus p can be written as 1 by a to the power of p. Okay, this is the indices for the negative number. So that is how whenever the or I can inversely say 1 by a to the power of minus p can be written as a to the power of p. Okay, whenever there is a negative sign, when you take it to the numerator, it becomes positive. So this is one method of doing it. So there are some questions in the textbook, okay, text and text 4. That is a textbook which I follow. So you can go back to that chapters. You can try some questions, and if you're not getting it, please come back to me. You can put a chat in the message in the chat or something like that. I'll respond to you. I can help you with these questions. Okay. Now we are going into exponential equations. Okay, solving exponential equation. So let me just start from the beginning. If I say 2 to the power of x is equal to 8, okay, how will I write this? 2 to the power of x is equal to 8. I need to write 8 as a power of 2. So I can write it as 2 to the power of x is equal to 8 can be written as 2 to the power of 3. Okay, now the base is the same. Base is the same, and hence I can write it as x is equal to 3. Whenever you're writing with the base for an exponent, the indices can match together. So what are the indices here? It is x and 3, so that can match together. Okay, let me take you through another example. 16, maybe no, not that. 3 to the power. Let me start with small example. 3 to the power of x is equal to 27. So 3 to the power of x is equal to 3 to the power of 3. 27 can be written as 3 to the power of 3. What do you mean by 3 to the power of 3? 3 times 3 times 3 is equal to 27. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is equal to 27. Okay. And since the base is the same, I can write this as x is equal to 3. Okay. Always remember the base has to be the same. Suppose if I'm getting a question like 1 by a to the power of x is equal to square root of 2. Okay. Now I should make the base as the same here. So what I will do, I will write this as 1 by 8 can be written as 2 to the power of 3 to the power of x, which is equal to square root of 2 can be written as 2 to the power of 1 over 2. Okay, and then I bring this one to the top. So it will become 2 to the power of minus 3x. Whenever you shift the from the numerator to the denominator or denominator to the numerator, you have to change the sign. And that is 2 to the power of minus 3x is equal to 2 to the power of 1 over 2. Now the base is the same. Now I can write this as minus 3x is equal to 1 over 2, or x is equal to 1 over minus 6 or minus 1 over 6. Okay, I'm just a little skeptical about this answer. Let me just quickly have a look. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, this is correct. Perfect. So I was just little skeptical about this, but this is correct. Okay. Now similarly, um, let me take one more example. Okay, I'll take work with 2 only. Okay, 2 to the power of x is equal to square root of 2 by 2. Okay. So understanding of this base thing is important to work with all the higher level max. So that is why I'm writing on this. So 2 to the power of x is equal to square root of 2 can be written as 2 to the power of 1 over 2 divided by 2. And the right hand side can be simplified as 2 to the power of 1 over 2 minus 2, which is equal to 2 to the power of 1 minus 4 over 2, which is equal to 2 to the power of minus 3 over 2. Okay. So 2 to the power of x is equal to 2 to the power of minus 3 over 2. X is equal to minus 3 over 2. Okay. That's a simple equation. Now, the next type of questions what you get. This is also again exam question model. Solve. Okay. It's all solution solving. Okay. Solve 3 to the power of 2x minus 12 into 3 to the power of x plus 27 is equal to 0. So you're going to get a question like this. Now, as soon as you see this question, you should understand that there is some sort of a power here and that there's some sort of power here. Okay. And immediately it should strike in your mind that this is substitution. Okay. This is substitution. So whenever you see repeating things, you should remember you have to substitute. Even in the last class I mentioned, whenever you see repeating numbers in a quadratic equation, you have to go ahead and substitute. Okay. So here, what you will substitute? For substituting, you need to have some common things, right? Yeah. So then is where your exponential knowledge comes into picture, because 3 to the power of 2x can be written as 3 to the power of x times 2. Okay, you have to remember this. That is why I'm written in red. Okay, and here then what I will write this as this equation can be written as 3 to the power of x to the power of 2 minus 12 times 3 to the power of x plus 27 is equal to 0. Now I have a repeating number here, 3 to the power of x. Now I will substitute this. I will write let y is equal to 3 to the power of x. And then I can write this as y square minus 12y plus 27 is equal to 0. Now this is just a quadratic equation. You can solve it. What will be the numbers? It is y minus 3, y minus 9 is equal to 0, y is equal to 3, y is equal to 9. Now don't stop here, because y is the variable which we introduced. Okay, the real variable is x. So you have to substitute it back. What is the substitution? You have 3 to the power of x. So you write it as 3 to the power of x is equal to 3. 3 to the power of x is equal to 9. Okay, and then 3 to the power of, here you can write this as 1. So x is equal to 1. And for the second one, you can write it as 3 to the power of x is equal to 3 to the power of 2. So here x is equal to 2. So these are the two answers which we get out of this question. Yeah. So always remember, whenever you find something similar, you see how you can rewrite it, and then you can go for a substitution. Now let me just tell you one more question. 2 to the power of, I'm not going to do this fully, 2 to the power of 2x minus 3 into 2 to the power of x minus 4 is equal to 0. Now see here, 2 to the power of 2x can be written as 2 to the power of x to the power of 2 minus 3 to the 3 into 2 to the power of x minus 4 is equal to 0. Now let y is equal to 2 to the power of x, and this can be written as y square minus 3y minus 4 is equal to 0. This is a quadratic. You can solve this. You will find the value and immediately substitute it back into the x value. Okay. Let me quickly show you an exam question. I think I have it here. Okay, perfect. So see this exam question. Y is equal to 2 to the power of x. Given that y is equal to 2 to the power of x, express 4 to the power of x minus 2 to the power of x plus 1 is equal to 3. Interesting, isn't it? Because here you don't have a 2 to the power of x. But what I will do, I can write 4 as 2 to the power of 2 to the power of x. Yeah. And the next one, 2 to the power of x plus 1, can be written as 2 to the power of x times 2 to the power of 1. That is equal to 3. Okay. Let me explain this over here. There is a formula a to the power of p times a to the power of q is equal to a to the power of p plus q. Okay. That's, if I reverse it, a to the power of p plus q. This is in the formula book, okay? A to the power of p plus q is equal to a to the power of p times a to the power of q. Okay, so a to the power of 3x plus 5. Apply this formula. You can write it as a to the power of 3x times a to the power of 5. Okay. So you can write this. That's what I have done here. Look at this. It's x plus 1. Let me just rub this so that I can shade it and tell you. 2 to the power of x plus 1 can be written as 2 to the power of x times 2 to the power of 1. Okay, so that's that simplification. Now, let me take this one. 2 to the power of 2. Okay, that also again I want to explain it here. 2 to the power of 2 to the power of x can also be written as 2 to the power of x to the power of 2. You can interchange it. Okay, because multiplying, anything multiplying is fine. Now here it is 2 to the power of 2. Sorry, I'm going to rewrite this as 2 to the power of x to the power of 2 minus 2 to the power of x times 2 to the power of 1 is equal to 3. Now I can say let 2 to the power of x is equal to y, and then this will be y square minus 2y equal to 3. Or I can write this as y square minus 2y minus 3 is equal to 0. And then you can solve this quadratic equation. Okay, so we are good with this. So please learn this topic also. Okay, this one. Again, if you are confused on this, you have a video on my channel where I'm going through detail on this. So please have a look into this and try to understand. And let me tell you about this exponential. As I said, there will be application questions. Okay, today I'm not going to go through that because I don't have the time, but I will record a video on that and I will send it across. Okay, now the last portion for today's session is logarithmic functions. Logarithms. Again, this is there in the formula book. I don't know the page number, but it is there in the formula book. You can look into the logarithm. As and when you're working with exponents and logarithms, please have your formula book open and ready, because you don't you have we haven't memorized all of this, okay, in our course. So what do you need to do? You need to look at the formula book, see what is similar to R1, and then implement it. That's all what you have to do. Okay, it's very, very, very easy. Exponents and logarithms are very easy because you have all the formulas. You just need to see what is there, and then you need to put it into our this one. For example, there's a formula called log xy. Okay, I don't know whether it is that or this one, log xy. Okay, log xy is equal to log x plus log y. Okay, or log x over y is equal to log x minus log y. Okay, or log x to the power of p can be written as p log x. So this is a direct logarithm question. So with these information, so if I am saying log 5x can be written as, okay, 5x falls under this category. So I can write this as log 5 plus log x. Okay. Or if the question is log x to the power of 3 can be written as, it falls under this third category. So I can write this as 3 log x. Okay. These are very basic things. Now we'll see how you can solve equations using this. So let me just take a quick equation. Okay. So if I write log, this is the base, okay, log base 2, sorry, log 2 to the base 4 and log 32 to the base 4. Okay, we have to find the value of this. So now it is addition. Okay, addition here. So what you will write, you go to the formula book, look out where is addition. Okay, it can be on the left hand side or the right hand side of the log equation. Okay, you cannot always expect they'll give you the left hand side and you write on the right hand side. So it can be in either side. So you look at the right left hand side or the right hand side, and this, since this is addition, you can write this as multiplication. So log to the base 4, 2 times 32. Okay, and that is equal to log 4, 64. Okay, this, okay, again I need to write this as log 64 to the base 4 is equal to x. Now what does this mean? It means 4 to the power of x is equal to 64. This is the definition of log. Okay, so if I say log p to the base a, okay, is equal to q, then by the definition of logarithm, what you can say is a to the power of q is equal to p. Okay, this you need to memorize, you need to remember this. There's nothing in the formula book. Okay, you need to remember this. So just look at where the a and the p and the things are going. Okay, or is it there in the formula book? I'm not very sure. I think it is there. Okay, let me quickly check. Hope you know that the formula book is there in the examination websites. Yeah. Let me just check, okay? Because if it is there in the formula book, you need not memorize it. Actually, that's very good thing. Oh, yeah, it is there. So page 21, okay? It's there in page 21. So no need to memorize. It's in page 21 on the right hand side top. So what they have given us, a to the power of x is equal to y, means that log a y is equal to x. Okay, so this is just the opposite of what I have mentioned. Okay, see here, a comes here, x comes here, and y is here. Okay, so no need to worry about that. Okay, you have this. Very good. Now, okay, we are moving on to one more question. So, okay, yeah, we didn't complete this. Sorry. 4 to the power of x is equal to 64. So, 4 to the power of x is equal to 64 can be written as 4 to the power of 3, and then x is equal to 3. Okay, we'll do one more question on this. Log 3, okay, log 2 to the base 3, okay, sorry, I'm just saying it wrong. Log 2 to the base 3 plus 2 log 3 to the base 3 minus log 18 to the base 3. So whenever you get a question like this, you first see whether the logs are, the base is the same. Okay, the base is the same, so you don't need to worry. If the base are different, you need to convert the base. You know how to convert. It's there in the formula book, so you just see where the letters are going and then you convert it. Okay. Otherwise, if the base is the same, you directly you can go and start working on this. Now, what is the first thing what you will work? You will work on this one. Okay, 2 log 3 to the base 3. So that can be written as, let me just write this. The first one I'm just retaining it like this. And the second one, I'm going to write this as log 3 to the power of 2. Okay, because this 2 will go here. Again, formula. Okay, formula book, I think this formula is third log formula. Okay, log x to the power of q minus log 18 to the base 3. Okay, now what you will do, this is addition, this is subtraction. Addition means it is multiplication. So then you will write this as 2 times 3 square log 3, and then subtraction means it is division. So you will write this as divided by 18. Okay, now you simplify this and you can write this as x because you have to solve it, you have to find the value. Okay, now this can be written as log 3. You multiply this, 3 square is 9, 9 into 2, 18. Log 18 divided by 18, which is equal to x. So log 1 to the base 3 is equal to x. Now you go to the formula book, find out how you will write it. You can write this as 3 to the power of x is equal to 1. So x is equal to 0. Anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1. This is again there in the formula book. Okay, you get the value. Okay, so this is how we work on the logarithm questions. Now let me see whether I have any question for logarithm. Oh yeah, I do have it here. Okay, I'm not going to do it fully because I don't have the time. So I'll quickly tell you how to do it. So first thing is, you will see whether the base is the same. So here it is 9, here it is 9. Okay, let me just write the question once again so that it is easy for you. 9. Okay, so the base is the same. So I don't need to worry. I don't need to change the base. Now I will simplify this. So first simplification will be done for this, and that will be log x to the base 9 to the power of 2, because 2 will jump to the top. Okay, and this is 1 by 2 plus log 5x plus 18. Now what I'll do, I'll just bring this logarithm to the left hand side. This logarithm to this side. So that will be log x square divided by 5x plus 18, which is equal to 1 over 2. And then how will I solve it? Okay, here it is 9. Okay, now I can write this as 9 to the power of 1 over 2 will be equal to x square by 5x plus 18 by the formula of logarithm. And 9 to the power of 1 over 2 will be square root of 9, which is equal to 3. 3 is equal to x square divided by 5x plus 18. And you cross multiply, so 3 into 5x plus 18 is equal to x square. Simplify it, you will get a quadratic. You solve it, you will get the value of x. Yeah, I'm not going to do it completely, but this is how you simplify it. So we learned about inequalities, linear inequality, quadratic inequality, rational inequality. Remember, rational inequality, you have to multiply by square of the denominator. Then you have a modulus, square both the sides. Okay, and then you work with exponents. You should see the base exponents are the same. Then you can equate the top ones, indices, and then you work with the logarithms. Okay, I couldn't touch on the application level question. So either I will schedule another live for this, or I will record a video and I'll put it into the channel. Okay, now again, you can go back. This will be live. This will be updated in the channel. So you can go back and look into these videos. And also there is a playlist of all these questions or all these topics in my section. I will put that also in the chat. So please have a look into that in case if you are stuck with any questions. And if you have any doubts, please come back to me. You can put it into the chat. I will try to reply for that. Okay, so please come back to me. So have a good learning experience. Try to put some effort every day so that you will be able to get good marks in the leaving cert. And this YouTube live video is my humble approach to give it back, to see like if someone needs help, I'm like ready to help. Okay, that's why I'm like spending some time. I'm taking some time out of my schedule and I'm sitting here and doing my live. So if you have any friends who would like to attend, please share it across. Please say that okay, we will have certain live sessions which will be coming on different topics, so I'll be publishing it. So if you have any friends, you can just share it across, and more people join. I'll be very happy to see that okay, people are benefiting from this one. So, and thank you so much for logging in, for listening to this. I hope this was helpful. If you have any feedback, please let me know. Last class, some of you gave me some topics to start, functions and probability and statistics. Definitely we'll have that session. I don't know whether I'll be able to schedule it before the mocks or not, but I'll definitely try to do that because I'm also a little busy this week. So next week we don't have any live session, but the week after we will schedule a couple of ones. Okay, thank you so much. But in between also, if you have any questions, you can just come back to me, put a message in the YouTube or something, and I should be able to help you. So okay, there's a question, when is the next live? Okay, my next live will be on 20th. Okay, it'll be on 20th of Jan. I haven't decided on the topic. 20th of Jan, next to next Monday. Okay, I'll be publishing it, and I'll be scheduling it maybe this week itself. I'll put a schedule on to that. Okay, so thank you so much. So have a nice evening. Take care, and have fun. Okay, see you. Thank you. Bye bye.